Tyler Jalbert, driver of the 04 mainly asphalt Camaro. You're watching XCAL on Telesign TV.
Esto es XCAL League, soy Octavio Rondoletto y me verás arriba del Telesign 77.
Hi, this is Angelo Esposito, driver of the 33 machine, and you're watching XCAL Racing on Telesign TV.
Hi, this is Kenny Tripp, driver of the main Mongol truck service Camaro. You're watching XCAL Racing on Telesign TV.
Hey, ich heiße Rafael Sempro und bin der Fahrer des Wagens mit der Nummer 74 und ihr guckt XCAL Racing auf Telesign TV.
This is Ryan Soper, driver of the number 84 RS racing car, and you're watching XCAL Racing on Telesign TV.
Good afternoon, my friend, and welcome to Telesign TV as we get ready for heat race number 1 for the XCAL Racing USA 275. As always, my name's PDJ Zeller, the voice of XCAL Racing, and doing the fantastic work behind the cameras is Tanner Kalin, as always. And like I said, heat race number 1 for the XCAL Racing Web Shop 275 is coming up here live. And as always, before we do our first heat race, a little shout out to our sponsor this week, the XCAL Racing web shop. If you haven't already, go to www.xcalracing.com and then go to the little shop tab at the top of the web page. And you can get all sorts of cool XCAL merch there. You can get your own XCAL 21 whiskey mug. You can get XCAL pins, buttons, beanbag chairs, backpacks, wall clocks, fleece blankets, t-shirts, hoodies, hats. You name it, we got it XCAL merchandise. So be sure to check out the XCAL web shop as we are getting ready to wrap up qualifying here for heat race number 1. XCAL Racing, this is our first official week back in about 3 weeks. We ran last week for the St. Jude's charity race. Wasn't an official race, though. It was only a 100-lap race at the Charlotte Oval, so a very short event there. And the week before that, we had off for the election, and the week before that was the Spooktacular, which was just a glorified demo derby, pretty much. So really the first week back with an actual XCAL scale event right here in Lakeland, Florida at the USA Speedway. It looks like we're going to have 21 cars take to the grid for heat race number 1. 5 will transfer to tomorrow night's feature event, XCAL Racing, getting back into the groove of things. And it's getting close to 21. If you didn't know, XCAL Racing's back. XCAL Racing was gone between 2016 and 2019, but now in 2021 they're returning to a full league schedule. A 30-race season will kick off in early January, and XCAL has 8 races now to get things tuned up before we get back into the groove of things for real. So as qualifying wraps up, here's your starting grid for heat race number 1. Starting on pole position, that is the number 60 of Sean English. On his outside, the number 12 is Kenny Tripp. In third in the 19 is Greg Holes. In fourth in the 99 is Tyler McRae. In 5th in the 28 is Stephen Rex. In 6th in the 07 is Kyle Streichars. In 7th in the number 7 will be Jeff Edgar. In 8th in the 31 is Josh Rogers. 9th in the 707 is Cody Jones. And 10th in the 71 is Andrew Bogues. In 11th is the number 4 of Brad Glogly. 12th is the 74 of Rafael Sempruch. 13th is the 2 of Ben Eaton. 14th is the 20 of Jose Gadino. 15th is the 52 of Marty Zakala. 16th is the 00 of Ron Walters. 17th is the 83 of Tim Skillman. 18th is the 062 of Johnny B. 19th is the 33 of Angelo Espo. 20th is the 47 of Justin Novaria, and 21st is the 699 of Matthew Bear. And that is your starting order for this first of 4 heat races today. That's right, we're running heat races now, 5, 7, and 9. All evening long, we'll be taking 5 cars at a time to qualify for the main event as Sean English gets to the grid, and we are ready to do 50 laps in this heat race. 50 laps, cautions are on, but they're admin administrated, so that means the only way a caution does get thrown is if race control Aaron Hilbush decides a caution is necessary, so we'll see how many cautions we get thrown today as the field gets rolling. On that inside line, as I said earlier, Sean English. On the outside line, Kenny Tripp. Kenny Tripp, a winner a few weeks ago at the Lanier Speedway in an epic battle with the number 100 of Danny Ware. Was Tripp that ultimately came out victorious in that feature event. Had a good car at Irwindale too, I believe ended up just outside the top 5. last week was involved in a wreck in the charity event at Charlotte. Looking to get things back on track at USA. I will say though, so far this weekend, the cars that have been fastest here at USA, well, Luke Turpin has certainly been one of them. The Luke Turpin machine has been one of the quickest cars here all weekend. Another guy who's been pretty quick is the 04 of Tyler Jalbert. I watched that car top a couple of practices. Octavio Rondoletto was looking pretty quick as usual, although I will say he didn't look quite as dominant as he had at Irwindale, so maybe a little bit more back to earth this week for Octavio Rondoletto, who's been pretty dominant as of lately. And also, really good this week so far, Jordan Babinger. Babinger, that new addition to the Dropping Bombs racing team, has been really quick so far, so he's not in this heat race. We'll have to see what he can do as the night progresses. So here we go down the backstretch, field at the mercy of Sean English in that number 60 car. He brings the field, I should say, down into turn number 3. That iRacing Ford Mustang makes that hard left-hand turn, and here they come off the corner into the restart zone. Green flag in the air, we're down and away, and it's English who changes lanes way before the start-finish line. He's probably going to get a penalty for that. English changes lanes. That was just egregiously there, and now he is in the lead. We'll see if Race Control does anything. There's a big wreck, though. Caution should likely fly. Big wreck mid-pack. I saw Stephen Rex in it, and I did. Caution will fly for that. So a rough start to this race, to say the least, as Stephen Rex got collected early. And I do believe Race Control did just issue a warning to the 60 of Sean English as we wait to get the replay up here, so we'll see what happened. And the replay is up, and here's what happened. Going into turn 1, Stephen Rex, looks like in the middle of the corners, got tapped a little bit from Jeff Edgar, sent Rex around. Brad Galogli also went spinning. Involved in that, I see the 062 of Johnny B. I see, that might be the 00 of Ron Walters, I believe, also involved in that. Benjamin Eaton got a piece. I believe Marty Zakawa might have got a little piece of that. Really, no one got too terrible damage out of that, not even Stephen Rex. I believe all these cars will be able to stay on the lead lap and not sustain too much damage, so just a shame for Rex, who started in 5th, is now going to find himself mired back towards the rear of the field. Race Control is still reviewing that one. But yes, worth noting that Sean English has been assessed a warning for that initial start on the race. So Jeff Edgar was penalized for that wreck, so he'll be moved back from 9th to the tail end of the field after he was the car that made the contact there with Stephen Rex. Tough break there for Edgar, who's having a decent run so far. He'll find himself at the back of the field now, have to fight his way back through like Rex and the rest of company. But up front, as they get things double file, the lights on the pace car will stay off. They must be 2 to green this time by. Sean English has to be careful this time on the start. The rule with XCAL Racing is that all 4 tires of your car must remain in your lane until you get back to the start-finish line. If you remove them from the lane, you get a black flag. Sometimes you'll be assessed a warning. English, since it was the initial start of the race and we haven't had a real race in a couple weeks, I think Race Control gave him the benefit of the doubt. They gave him a warning. If he does it again, that's a black flag all day. He'll find himself in the pits. So here's an updated top 10 after we had a little bit of excitement there to start this one. First place, Sean English. Second, Kenny Tripp. Third, Tyler McRae. Fourth, Greg Holes. Fifth, Kyle Strychars. Sixth, Cody Jones. Seventh, Rafael Sempruch. Eighth, Jose Godino. Ninth, Ben Eaton. And 10th will be Marty Zakawa. As this time by the flag stand, they do turn the lights off the pace car. We are 1 lap till we go back green flag racing. All 21 cars still remain on the track and on the lead lap. We're looking to get things underway here, so English leads them back down the back stretch and towards corner number 3. As Tyler McRae is going to warm up his tires a little bit. And it looks like Johnny B might have actually lost a lap, so I might have been incorrect to you. Johnny B, I think, is 1 lap down. Here they come through turns 3 and 4. The iRacing Ford Mustang makes that hard left-hand turns. Field is at the mercy of the 60 of English. Here they come. Green flag in the air. We're down and away. And this time English does keep all 4 tires down below the line where he's supposed to be. And a much cleaner start that time in turn 1. Here we go, battle on for fourth. Kyle Streichars to the inside of Greg Holes. Streichar is going to pick up fourth, and Cody Jones gets loose behind the both of those two. Keep an eye on that as the race continues on. Streichars dives it in again underneath the 19 of Greg Holes. Holes rides the high side, and Streichars is clear for fourth, so Streichars will have the position for the moment. Now Holes is back in fifth. Jones is the first man out of a transfer spot in sixth. Here we go up front. Kenny Tripp gives a little bit of a bump there to our leader, getting a little bit loose there as English. Here comes Tripp to the inside. Tripp dives down low. He's underneath the 60 of English. Tripp rides that low line around the racetrack. He has the nose ahead off the corner. English, though, going to get all the momentum back towards the line. It was Tripp by 4/1000ths of a second at the start-finish line that time. Tripp drives it off corner number 2, and Tripp will take the lead. As now, Tripp gets loose. That'll allow the 60 to come back to the outside. Waiting in the wings is the number 99 of Tyler McRae. McRae waiting for one of these two guys to make a mistake. Remember, in the pre-race show, I said Jordan Babinger of Dropping Bombs Racing has been pretty quick all week. The entire Dropping Bombs Racing team has been fairly quick this week. USA really seems to suit their setup, suit their driving style. And right now we see Tyler McRae move to the inside for second on English. Nothing doing there yet. English will hang on to the second spot. We head down into corner number 3, and Tripp is going to get a little bit of a tap, a little bit of a nudge, and English moves him up the speedway. English dives to the low side. Nothing doing, though. Tripp drove the car off the corner. Nice piece of driving there. Update 2, Cody Jones has taken the 5th spot away from Greg Holes, so move Jones up now into the final transfer spot as Jones done a nice job there getting his car into a position to transfer. Black flag was assessed to Andrew Bogus as he must have had a restart infraction there, so Bogus has had to bring his car down to the pits. Kenny Tripp, though, is your leader now, so he continues to try to put a little ground between him and English. And English is one of these cars that I see qualify really well every week, and he usually can run in the top 5. He usually is about a top 5 running car. It just seems, though, that his speed in qualifying doesn't necessarily transfer to dominance in the race. And sometimes you will see him put down a really fast lap, like a tenth, maybe a tenth and a half faster than anyone's put down all week. It just seems, however, in race trim that it just does not play out that way for English and the 60 team. They just cannot sustain that speed over the course of a long run. So this year for XCAL goes on and he runs more and more of these long scale events, I expect to see that kid maybe make different setup adjustments and to maybe make different driving adjustments too in the race, because he's more, you can tell that he's run a lot of official races in his day. He ran a lot of those shorter length races where setup isn't as key and you don't need to set up your car for the long run. As he runs more and more of these XCAL races, though, and these XCAL races get more and more clean, that's going to be something crucial if he plans to compete for a championship in 2021. Tripp continues to lead as the 60 of English rides in the shadow. They've opened up a little bit of a gap now on third place of Tyler McRae. Fourth is starting to heat up a little bit. Cody Jones is reeling in Kyle Streichars for that 4th spot. They all safely sit within transfer spots. Then back to 6th, it's going to be the 19 of Greg Holes. 7th is Semprich. 8th is Godino. 9th is Benjamin Eaton. And 10th is Josh Rogers. 17 cars still race around in the lead lap. Here we go, battle for 4th now, really starting to get interesting. Cody Jones right up to the bumper of Streichars now. Jones runs right on the bumper. He's, Jeff Edgar actually has parked his car for the event. Worth noting, Edgar was running in 21st. He's going to pull the car off the speedway. We have another car off the speedway on the backstretch. That's the 00 of Ron Walters. He's trying to get his car out of the way. That battle for 4th has simmered down a bit. Cody Jones had a couple of rough corners. Looks like he's getting a little bit tight there. The 707 will have to regroup and set his sights back on Streichars. That actually will allow the 19 of Holes to catch right back up to his bumpers. So the battle for 4th through 6th is heating up. Up front, though, the battle for the lead is as hot as it's been all day. That 60 of English is not letting Kenny Tripp get away from him whatsoever. Tripp continuing to show the fast way around the racetrack, but English making sure that if Tripp should make any mistake, that 60 is right there to punish him. Here we go now, battle for the last transfer spot, really getting hot. Greg Holes is caught right back up to Cody Jones. He's all over his bumper. Jones doing a nice job just driving his line right now, trying to put some space between him and that 19 car once again. The 707, though, a little bit tight off the corner. That 19 is right there. They know this is for the last transfer spot. That is where the action's at. All over the racetrack. Another decent battle that has started to brew a little bit is Josh Rogers and Matthew Baer. Or excuse me, Josh Rogers and Ben Eaton. Rogers started to catch up to the 2 of Eaton as those two get closer by the lap. keeping an eye. Really no side-by-side racing on the track right now. Everyone kind of just 2x2 running nose to tail. We have a good group of 3 cars with Tim Skillman, Marty Zakala, and Brad Gologly running about 13th through 15th right now, as Zakala looking to qualify for his first ever XCAL event, running a little bit too far behind a transfer spot so far, but Zakala will look into maybe race next XCAL 21. Here we go. Gologly dives down to the low side of Zakala. This is for the 14th spot, excuse me. Gologly off the inside, and Gologly's going to come across the nose of Zakala. Gologly and Zakala wreck down the front stretch. Espo gets collected. Angelo Espo's wrecked down the front stretch. No caution will fly as they're all able to keep him going except for Espo. Tough break there for Angelo Espo as he's going to have to bring that car to the pits. So no caution will fly. Update as well for the final transfer spot for 5th. Greg Holes has gotten around Cody Jones. So Holes moves up one more spot. Now as Strychar starts to slow down a little bit. Here comes Holes for the 4th spot. Holes all over the bumper of the 07. Don't worry about up front. You're not missing a whole lot. Tripp actually has opened up the smallest of gaps between him and Sean English as of lately. Still close enough where if any mistake were made by Tripp, English would be right there, but he does have a small bit of breathing room now. As here we go, Holes looks to the inside of Strychar's for the 4th spot. Holes trying to take that spot away from the 07 dropping bombs car. All these cars are actually running a little bit quicker right now than Tyler McRae. They're all reeling in the McRae 99 by the lap. So them dropping bombs cars seem to be falling off a little bit as the long run goes on. Holes continues to run right behind the 07. Holes gets into the wall a little bit. Losing touch to these two now as Cody Jones thinks that 707 might just be a tick slower than these two in front of him right now. Still running a good bit quicker than the McRae 99 though. The McRae 99 really has lost some speed as this battle for the last transfer spot really is probably about to start to heat up between McRae, Strychar's, Holes, and Jones. And maybe even Rafael Sempruch too if they slow down enough where Sempruch can get involved. Up front, once again, nothing really to see here. Same thing it's been all race. It is Tripp in the lead and English just waiting behind, about 2/10 behind him. Although this time off the corner, Tripp gets into some trouble with some lap traffic. Here comes English. English sticks his nose in the inside, and English does not have the nose to put in there. Tripp with a nice block. Tripp with a nice block again. Off the corner, cross marks in the air. Halfway down, halfway to go. Kenny Tripp continues to lead at Lakeland, but it is that 60 of Sean English that has given him all he can handle and more right now as they work their way through some lap traffic. Back to that battle for the transfer spot. These guys actually have really separated themselves from Cody Jones, so it's not much of a battle for the transfer spot, as it is Tyler McRae is getting caught right now by Strychars and Holes. So the 3rd position in jeopardy right now for Tyler McRae as Strychars has tracked him down. His teammate, that is, Strychars. So we'll see if maybe Kyle Strychars in the 07 maybe races his team owner Tyler McRae a little bit more respectfully than he would other cars. Not saying that Kyle isn't a respectful guy, but once the guy that owns your car is actually McRae is just going to make way for the 07. McRae gets high and out of the way. He's going to let Strychars go by. Let's see if McRae makes it easy on Holes or if he's going to make Holes fight for it. McRae drives right back in behind the 07, and it looks like he's going to make Holes work for it. Then out Strychars up to the 3rd spot. McRae is back to 4th. 5th is Greg Holes. Cody Jones is in 6th, and Jones, that car is getting slower by the lap right now. Issues there for the 707 as this race continues to go on. Sempruch is still in 7th, 8th Godino, 9th Eaton, and 10th Rogers. Up front, the battle for the lead continues to be about a dead stalemate right now. It's Kenny Tripp just showing the way around the track, but that English car, I just have to think that Sean English is biding his time right now. I don't think he's shown us his full hand here. I think English is just trying to push that 12 car as hard as he can, and now as we sit here with about 20 laps to go, you have to think that English has a little mental clock and he's thinking, all right, maybe in about 5 or 6 more laps I might try to start to make my move, see what I can make happen here on Tripp. And not for nothing, but USA isn't really the easiest track to race around either. It's a very tight, narrow speedway, and anytime you do get to the inside of someone, the guy on the outside typically can't keep their momentum up and keep the guy on the inside at bay. So to get around someone here, you almost have to move them. And not saying that Sean English is any stranger to doing anything like that, but it is it's certainly a tall task to get around a car, especially a car that has speed like Kenny Tripp does right now. It's not that the 60 of English is just distinctly faster than Kenny Tripp right now. It's more of a fact that Kenny Tripp is also quick, as is Sean English. English might be a smidgen quicker, but with Tripp having the track position, there's really just nothing that 60 team can do except stop, hope, and wait that maybe the 12 makes some sort of mistake, or if we get down to the final couple laps, that 60 of English helps the 12 make a mistake. As we continue to look at these transfer spot battles, the battle for 4th is heating up. Tyler McRae has Greg Holes all over him. Here comes Holes to the inside for 4th. Greg Holes trying to cement himself inside of a transfer spot. Holes to the inside, the 99 of McRae up top, and Greg Holes drives it off the corner. He has the nose ahead. It's going to be McRae, though, trying to pull back up with the momentum off the corner, nothing doing, and Greg Holes now move him up to 4th, McRae back to 5th. McRae goes for a little tap there, will not get it, so McRae will be mired back to 5th. Still Cody Jones running in 6th, but Jones is a good 2.5 seconds behind Tyler McRae. McRae can sit comfortably in 5th with about 17 to go, and as long as he runs a modest pace, that 99 should be good to transfer, barring a caution, which is always a possibility. Up front, leaders getting some lap traffic. I was just about to compliment the 12 of Kenny Tripp, saying he had opened up a gap again on Sean English. That could all be for naught as they worked in the lap traffic again. Here they come to the inside of Bogus. Bogus is going to lead away to our leaders and let the 12 of Tripp go to the inside. Here comes English as well. Off the corner, Bogus isn't just letting him go by, though. He's going to continue to run a decent pace up there on the high side. And Bogus is going to give way to our leaders. So now the next car they'll set their sights on is 12th place, Timothy Skillman. And looks like if our leaders can get around Skillman, and if they can get around him effectively, it's a long ways up to the next lap car of Steven Rex. And Rex is running a decent pace right now. So this might be the last lap car our leaders have to deal with here, 13 laps to go. Here they come to the inside. They get around Timothy Skillman successfully, so that might be the last lap car the leaders have to deal with, although Rex is ahead. And oh, we do have a wreck. We do have a wreck as Jose Godino has gone around with Ben Eaton. They were running in 8th and 10th respectively. Josh Rogers also involved in that one, so an accident breaks out, no caution though, as everyone was able to keep it going. That does, however, put our leaders in a little bit more peril of getting into lap traffic now, as those guys sit right in front of our leaders. So I was just talking about how our leaders, they might not have to deal with any more lap cars in this race. Well, that might have been a lie, because now they have Jose Godino and Ben Eaton not that far ahead of them. So we will see if they get into trouble with them, and that would be trouble too, because those two lap cars, while yes, they are lap cars, they are fairly quick lap cars. So not going to be probably just the type to roll over and die for you. You probably have to race your way around those guys. Keeping an eye on the transfer battles just in case they do get interesting, and I will say that nothing really has heated up as of late. Jones actually has lost ground to Tyler McRae. If anything, the battle for 6th has gotten more interesting as the laps go on. Semperuch has kind of started to make a little bit of a charge there on the 707 of Cody Jones. Up front, it is still that Kenny Tripp car showing the way around, but English now is all over his bumper, and Tripp running a little bit lower on the racetrack, trying to throw a block. English is going to go to the high side. English goes to the high side. No, he turns the leader of Tripp around into the wall. Caution is going to fly as Kenny Tripp gets it rolling. And that will bring out the caution here with about 10 laps to go. And believe it or not, they had such a big lead over the field. They were about 6 seconds in front of everyone else that they were able to... Tripp was able to sustain second. Tripp did not lose second spot after going around. Now he did nail the outside wall with the inside of his car, so we will see if the damage hurt him too much. But it will be Tripp in at least second, and I'm not sure what's going to happen here. That might be a penalty on English. It looks like English did kind of come down onto the 12 cars. You see the replay now. And yeah, from this here, it does look like the 60 just kind of cut right through the quarter panel of the 12. And I got to put that one on the 60 of Sean English. That was racing for the lead. And racing for the lead gone wrong, as now Kenny Tripp will bring that car down pit road with substantial damage. So Tripp's going to have to bring that thing into the pits. That'll move Kyle Streichars up to second, and it will move Kyle Streichars into the catbird seat if anything should happen to Sean English, if they should penalize him. We're just kind of waiting on race control to make their call here, as I'll be curious to see what they say. And what that also does is it moves Cody Jones up into a transfer spot. So Cody Jones will be up to 5th. Semperuch will now be in 6th as the first car out. There's only a handful of cars in the lead lap. Josh Rogers 8th, 9th Ben Eaton, and 10th Jose Godino. And it's kind of looking like English is going to come down pit road, actually. So race control didn't even penalize English, but English comes down pit road regardless. That will put Kyle Streichars into the top spot now. That'll move Greg Holes up to second, Tyler McRae into third. Fourth will be Rafael Semperuch, and Cody Jones actually comes down the pits. So Cody Jones going to come down the pits, fix some damage on that car. We're going to take a 30-second timeout here for station identification. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Telesign TV. And welcome back to Telesign TV. My name's PDJ Zeller, the voice of XCAL Racing, as we have just a handful of laps here to go. The last caution of the race flying, and I really shook things up there, as Sean English did park his car after that accident, decided to pull it off the track. It's going to be the 12 of Tripp that went around while leading, so our top two got taken out. What that did is it moved Kyle Streichars up into the lead. Second's now Greg Holes, third Tyler McRae, fourth Rafael Semperuch, fifth Josh Rogers, sixth is going to be Jose Gaudino, seventh will be Kenny Tripp, and eighth, or actually seventh, should be Cody Jones when things cycle out. Let me check. And yes, seventh is Cody Jones, eighth will be Kenny Tripp, and ninth Timothy Skillman, with 10th Brad Gologly, as those will be the only cars on the lead lap. Marty Zakala did not get a wave around there, I believe. So race control going to delay the caution one time. We'll be going green in 2 laps. That means we will have a 4-lap shootout here to settle things, as Kyle Streichars looks to get his first heat race win of his XCAL career. That's right, he's been trying to win one of these things since 2014. He has been trying to get in victory lane in an XCAL heat race. Has not done it yet. However, we sit here with just about 4 laps to go. He's in the lead. He's looked good so far in this race. He's been running third all afternoon. Today could finally be the day. 1 lap till we get things restarted. Don't forget to check out the XCAL web shop. This is heat race number 1 for the XCAL web shop 275. All sorts of goods on the XCAL web shop. Even if you only have a couple bucks, just buy a pin for $4. Buy an XCAL Racing pin or a sticker, and you help out the league. You get a cool pin to represent the league that you race with or watch every single Monday and Tuesday. And it's just a nice way to show you care and you help out. And thank you to everyone who already has and everyone who does show up each and every week. We appreciate you so much here at XCAL Racing, but now it's time to go racing. The Ford Mustang makes the hard left-hand turn, field to the mercy of Kyle Streichars. Green flag in the air, and we're down and away. Great jump by that inside line, and Streichars bullets to the lead with Tyler McRae closely behind. Here they come as the battle for the transfer spot's going to heat up. It's Holes on the outside of Josh Rogers. Cody Jones is now up to 5th. Remember, 5 cars transfer, everyone else has to keep trying. It's Streichars out in the top spot, McRae riding closely behind. Holes back to 3rd, 4th is going to be Josh Rogers, 5th Cody Jones, and here comes Kenny Tripp like a rocket ship. Kenny Tripp would like to transfer. He races the inside of Gaudino for 6th. Jones continues to show the fast way around the last transfer spot as Tripp works in his mirror. Gaudino's going to spin out on his own. No more cautions at this stage of the race, though. It is every man for themselves at this point. This time by the flag stand, the starter, Aaron Keith, holds up popsicle sticks in the air. 2 more laps to go, says the flag man. 2 more laps to go, and it's Streichars with half a second lead over his teammate, the number 99, Tyler McRae. Here we go, that battle for the last transfer spot's heating up, though. The 707 of Jones gets a little loose off the corner. Tripp is right in his mirror, bearing down on him. Tripp knows that's the spot he needs to transfer. White flag in the air for Kyle Streichars. 1 more lap to go. We're going to keep an eye on this battle for the transfer spot as the wind seems to clear for Streichars. Drychars continues to pull away as he's looking for his first ever XCAL Heat Race victory, and Jones with a nice corner 1 and 2. If he can get through 3 and 4 smoothly, I think that he will transfer. Here they come down in corners 1 and 2. Jones should be all right. Off the corner, checkered flag, and the flagger's there. And finally, Kyle Strychars wins an XCAL Heat Race, the first XCAL Heat Race victory of his career. The 07 finally parks it in victory lane. Second is his teammate Tyler McRae. Third, Greg Holes. Fourth, Josh Rogers. And fifth in your final transfer spot is the 707 of Cody Jones. So, nice job there by Jones recovering and transferring. Nice job by Rogers and Holes too getting those transfer spots after being borderline all evening. First car out was Rafael Semprich in 6th, 7th Brad Glogli, 8th Tim Skillman, 9th Kenny Tripp, and 10th Marty Zakala. So we will get a word with your winner, Kyle Strychars, in just a moment as we get ready to talk to him down in victory lane. All right, we're down here on the front stretch in victory lane with Kyle Strychars. And Kyle, as far as my memory serves me, this is the first time in your now 7-year XCAL career that you've parked the car in victory lane in a heat race. How's it feel to finally close the deal on one of these things, man?
Hey man, it's been a long time coming. It was just a heat here tonight, but hopefully I can turn it into some feature wins and maybe come home with a win tomorrow. Got to thank the guys over at DBR, XCAL Racing, Telesign, Racebox Sim, and Race Sim Tools for helping me get the car in victory lane tonight. Couldn't do it without them.
Kyle, I gotta say, I've been watching practice, and all the dropping bombs cars have looked very quick this week, and you're no exception, obviously, picking up the win here in heat race number 1, and your teammate Tyler McRae finishing second. Well, we've seen Badminger pretty quick in practice, too. So tell me, as we get closer to the feature, how do you feel about you and your team's chance at USA?
Strength in numbers. You saw it. We almost pulled off the win last week at Charlotte. Working together, we work together and we run good. Strength in numbers is what it's all about, and hopefully the other guys can do good in their heats and we can get a full DBR field in there and hopefully come home with a victory lane and maybe even get another DBR 1-2 finish like we just did in the heat.
All right, well, congratulations, Kyle. We'll let you go figure out the race strategy with the team. That was Kyle Strychars, winner of heat race number 1. And that'll wrap up things here on the broadcast. Don't forget to check out the XCAL web shop. My name is PDJ Zettler, the voice of XCAL Racing. You are watching Telesign TV. As always, the fantastic work done by Tanner Kalin. On behalf of XCAL Racing, Aaron Hilbush, and their great team over there, take it easy, folks. We'll see you in an hour for heat race number 2.